Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell, today's video is going to be a chit chat, get ready with me. I'm going to share with you guys my current everyday makeup routine, which has been long overdue. I haven't done that in so long. And then also just chat with you guys, answer some questions from Instagram, and just catch up. It's been a minute. I thought this would be a fun video, and it's been a while since I've sat down and actually just like talked to the camera like this. So I think this is going to be fun. I really hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. Skincare done, sunscreen done. I'm going to share with you guys the first thing that I do in my makeup, and this has been new to my routine probably the past 6 months, I would say. Maybe that's a little generous, but it's fairly new, but I've been absolutely loving it. It is the iconic London Illuminator. I don't know if it's a specific shade, it just says original, but I have been loving this as like a base underneath my foundation. I just think it looks so good. Okay, but I just do like a few little drops like this. I used to be really scared of illuminators and like glowy things like this because I wouldn't say I have oily skin, but I have like combination, and so I always used to think that like wearing illuminators or like glowy foundations and stuff would make me look super oily, and I never wanted that, but this has been awesome. Next, Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in the shade 4. Medium, I believe. This is incredible. Okay, so I just put it like so. And this has been really great because I've been using less foundation because of this. Holy Grail foundation, Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 6. I've been using this for years and years and years. I don't think I'll ever not use it. It's just incredible. I only use a little bit of this because I already have like the Flawless Filter. I'm gonna go in with concealer, and like for every day this is just a lot of makeup, so I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of this, like this much, not crazy. Okay, while I'm blending we can finally chat. So I did a little Q&A on my Instagram, just kind of like an ask me anything type of thing. And so I thought I would talk a little bit further on a lot of the questions I've been getting. The biggest umbrella one is, how are you? Obviously it's been a minute, actually, like 2 months since I've uploaded on YouTube, which is crazy, but also not for the way social media has been going lately, meaning like everything's kind of transitioning to TikTok. So it was not intentional that I wasn't uploading on YouTube. It's just such a weird thing to kind of, I mean, I've been online for like 10 years now, and so much has changed. Like when I first started my YouTube channel, there wasn't an Instagram. So like over the years, it's been interesting to see like what platforms people gravitate towards and like kind of where you have to adapt and change. And so lately it's been very much TikTok. So I've been kind of figuring out my avenue and like where I want to fit in on that app. It's definitely very different than YouTube. It's obviously much more short form content, it's quicker, and I really like it. I really like it a lot. I just think it's fun. It's definitely more time consuming than you think to kind of like keep up with trends and do things, and it's like I really want to put out content that's like, yes, it's fun and aesthetic and pretty to look at, but at the same time, like I just posted a bunch of Portugal stuff on there that I'm really excited about, and a lot of people seem to really like it. So that's kind of what I want to do, focus on like the travel and fashion, which I've always been super passionate about. But I think my biggest thing is figuring out a way to kind of keep up with both, because they're both, YouTube and TikTok are both video platforms. And I've always strived on like being authentic and like keeping my content real and true to who I am. But it's so interesting because filming for TikTok, it's like you kind of have to pick and choose what days you're filming for TikTok and what days you're filming for YouTube, because they're a different formatted video. You know, YouTube's this way, TikTok's this way. So when we go out and do stuff, and if I want to film, you know, a cute clip or like a cute little day vlog, I usually shoot it all on my phone, but then it's not gonna go on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me complaining at all. It's just me figuring out where I want to put my content, and where I want to focus my content. YouTube is like first and foremost my like favorite thing. It's just where I can actually sit down and talk to you guys like this, which I think is so great. For concealer, NARS Creamy Concealer, Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm in the color Light 2.6. I went back to this. This is a concealer that I abandoned for a second, and I tried the Kosas concealer. I think I'm saying that right. And I really liked that one a lot, but it was more watery. And for somebody that usually gets, like, when I sweat or when I like go through the day, my T-zone is where it really shows. And that concealer just, it looked great when I first applied it, but it did not hold up for me throughout the day. Whereas this NARS one has just always been my favorite and my go-to. It's like my Armani foundation. I just love it. Another big question on the how are you, you know, like obviously with social media and everything, has been just how I've been since my crazy 2 years. If you've been following me for the past 2 years, you know that I went through 2 major life-altering experiences. First one was becoming a new mom, which has been incredible. It's been challenging. It's been all of the above, like literally all of the above. And then when I was 9 months postpartum, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. As you guys know, if you've watched my cancer update video, you know that I am now cancer free, or I guess I should say, like, I am done with all of my treatments, no evidence of disease type of thing. I did everything I could currently in this moment. So I am kind of in this new transitional period. I'm not gonna say it's all been great. In fact, it's been very interesting. I think when I went in for my last doctor's appointment, and my oncologist was like, "You're good to go," and like gave me a hug and was like, just, it was over. And I felt like for the past 2 years, I was like in this like tornado of just like survival mode, both with becoming a new mom and going through all of my cancer treatments and surgeries and whatnot, that like when that just kind of like stopped, I was like, okay, now what? So for the past few months, I've been going through like a really great phase of just kind of feeling a little bit reborn, like very new again. Like I have this newfound energy to kind of live differently, act differently, care less, not stress about the small stuff. But I'm kind of like, now what? I just went through the craziest thing ever for the past 2 years, and I'm kind of coming down from all of that. So I think I have good days and bad days, but overall, to answer your question of like how I'm doing, I actually am doing very well. I think I am now finally processing a lot of the trauma, and I'm coping with that in my own ways. And like I said, it's not been great, and I never want my experience to ever feel like I'm glorifying it or anything like that. Like it's definitely been hard, but overall I feel good moving forward. Quickly, I'll continue this conversation, but I'm gonna go in with Contour Fenty Beauty in Truffle. Yeah, basically I just have this like newfound energy for life. I think I am not so stressed about this whole like planning your future. I think it's important to have goals, but I always had this like envision for my life as a new mom, and also like my timeline for more kids, and like just how I saw my life going. And obviously cancer was not what I thought would happen, and it completely changed my life, and it changed the way that I think about my life. It changes the way that I spend time with my friends, my family, my son, and it's been eye-opening, I should say. But that's not to say that it doesn't come with difficulties like mentally that I've gone through, just accepting my reality of what I've been through. A few people were asking me about how I deal with like the anxiety of, you know, living my life in fear of cancer coming back. And I think I don't know, I was always a very, I was not a hypochondriac, but I always, I wouldn't say I think worst case scenario, but I always kind of prepped for the worst. And so I think cancer to me was always something that I never thought I was like above. I'm like, yeah, I could get cancer one day, I could get sick, these things could happen to me. And so I kind of look at it as like, yes, my cancer could come back, and that would be horrible. but I can't live my life every day in fear, like thinking that's gonna happen, because before I got diagnosed last year, I could have lived every day thinking, well, I could get cancer one day. To me, I look at it now and I'm not so anxious as I once was, thinking like something could go wrong, because I kind of am like, well, how do I say this? Like, I just can't live my life like that. I can't live my life with the what ifs. And I know that I did everything I could in the moment with my doctors, and I was the most aggressive I could be with my diagnosis. And I did everything I could, and I can't look back and regret anything. And I think that's why I was so, you know, like happy with my decision to do chemo, because I can look back now and know that I did everything. Like, I didn't do something to avoid it, and I just did everything I could to hopefully never have this disease come back for me. And that gives me an incredible peace of mind. Okay, so for blush, this is so dirty and gross, but this is just, again, if you've watched any of my makeup videos over the years, like, I'm a creature of habit. I stick to the stuff I know. I have a few new things, but like, I love this. So this is Nude Sticks, Nudies, in the color In the Nude. And it's just like my little everyday blush, but I use another one that I just recently started using, so 1 second. It feels weird jumping from like talking about like, oh, this is the makeup I use, to then like talking about something as heavy as cancer. But you know, I'm just trying to, we're on FaceTime, right? Like, this is what I do every day with Carrie since she moved. I just like do my makeup and I just chat about life. So hopefully that's what this feels like. I'll wrap up my cancer chit chat and just kind of talk about I just recently got out of my last reconstructive surgery. So I went in a couple weeks ago and just did some little tweaks to it. I've mentioned my whole reconstructive process before, but I have implants. I think that was the biggest question on my Instagram. A lot of you guys like weren't sure how that worked. Yes, I have implants. Obviously with a mastectomy going into implants, there's just a little bit more than just, it's not like a traditional breast augmentation, there's more to it. So my doctor used fat to kind of cushion the implant and make it look more natural, and not so implant-like, if that makes sense. So basically, I went in last June to switch out my expanders for implants. He did a little fat then, and then everything kind of like settled. And then I just went in, we did more fat, and just kind of like perfected everything. And it was a pleasant experience. I don't think anything will beat my recovery of my mastectomy. That was brutal, and I don't think I'll ever experience pain like, I hope I never experience pain like that again, because that was by far the worst ever coming out of surgery. But this was much more pleasant. I don't think I told you what this blush was. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand in Pillow Talk. And I've just been loving layering those blushes. I just think it looks good. I kind of forgot where I left off, but yeah, basically I just had my last reconstruction. It should be the last of it. So I'm like officially done. So kind of wrapping in full circle of what I was saying before, it feels incredibly weird because my life last year was just filled with doctor's appointments, and that was even before cancer. Like, it was just constant doctors, like when I was pregnant, and then straight from there to a whole different set of doctors. So I am really looking forward to not having to go into a doctor's office for a while. That's the plan, right? So anyways, that's the latest and greatest. I feel really good. I feel really great. I appreciate you all so much for just like asking and caring. And the past year, I'm doing my makeup, so I'm not gonna get emotional, but it's just been so nice to have so many of you just care. And I haven't met, like, I've met a lot of you, but I have not met all of you. And you just are very compassionate humans, and you just care. And I just feel really lucky that for 10 years I have just created this platform for just the dopest people and the nicest people to just be a part of. And I just feel like you guys are all just so sweet and you just care so much. And I just think that that is awesome, because the internet can be a very dark place, and I feel so safe on my channel, and I feel safe on my platforms that it's just very comforting. Okay, so what is this? This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Again, an old favorite, but I love it. I got on this little trend from, I kind of just flicked you guys off, I'm sorry. I got on this little trend of these little fluffy things from Amazon. I got like a pack of them, and they set your makeup so well. So I don't like quite bake my makeup, but I just kind of like press it in, if that makes sense. But I still have like a little bit residual, and I'll just dust that off later. This is another one I love. This is Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4. What else should we talk about? I feel like, what's the other? Oh, a lot of you guys are asking me about my like plans as far as living in New York. So this is like a good little segue. New York is not a place that I am going to stay forever. In fact, it is very much reached its expiration date for me. I've gone through a lot here. I moved here when I was like 22 or 23, and I'm about to be 32. So like, we've lived the New York life. I lived in New York for most of my 20s, now some of my 30s. I went through 2 insanely crazy events in New York, and New York is just kind of, it's done its job for me, and I feel like it's time to leave soon. It feels bittersweet, and I've mentioned this before. You know what? I'm gonna do my eyebrows and I'm gonna come back because I cannot talk when I do these. I just fill them in. So what I was saying is that our New York adventure is coming to an end, and we're gonna eventually want to buy a house and live somewhere small town. So I posted this on Instagram, but we most likely will move back to the Midwest. That is our plan. This is not like a moving announcement, so I don't want to make it like all official, but that's our plan. We have family, we have friends there, and it just feels like the next step. It feels a little bittersweet because I really love the East Coast, and I am sad to leave, but financially it is just more responsible for us to relocate. This New York City is getting insanely expensive, and it's always been expensive, but it's just getting ridiculous now. And I think I just want the simpler things in life. I don't, you know, I'm enjoying still like going out with my friends and still like feeling, you know, doing that whole thing, but and like going to nice dinners and doing that, you know, New York stuff, events, but it's just time to move on. And I'm excited about it. I actually really am. Like I said, it's bittersweet because I love the East Coast, but moving doesn't mean you can't travel and visit, and that's something we really want to do more of, is travel. If you are parents, you know everything is a little bit more challenging. It's very love-filled and exciting with a child, but things are more challenging, and it's nice to have, you know, family and friends and more of a support system around, and a lot of our family is in the Midwest. So that is our next step. I can't wait to take you along. I think that's gonna be one of my favorite things. I'm like, when am I gonna get off the internet? Good question, I have no clue. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to like renovate a house, like decorate a kitchen with purpose, not like an apartment, you know? Like I can't do anything in an apartment when it comes to like fully redecorating and like sharing you guys my like true home style. Like I just kind of like, you just put your stuff in other people's like houses essentially. So this, when we finally get into a spot that's like ours, it's gonna be so exciting to just share the process of that. Let's just go back to the makeup thing for a second. The palette I'm using is by Charlotte Tilbury. It's called Super Nudes. Everything is nude that I use. I'm so boring. I don't know if it's like a specific shade. It just says the Super Nudes Easy Eye Palette. Oh my gosh, this is bringing me back, the covering of the mirror. So it's like these kind of colors. And I mix these two for like my base, and then this one I use for my eyeliner. It's kind of like a little purpley undertone, which is great because I have brown eyes. So it's just been like my daily thing. I just use a little angle brush and I make a little wing. Lastly, for mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black. and I'm gonna put it on my eyes. Done. Bronzer, Hoola, a classic. I am so happy a lot of my life is online. I think back to like 2019 when we were like deep into like friend content. Do you remember how much friend stuff we would do and like vlog and like go on these trips, and that was so fun. And then it's just like crazy to see like everybody in just different parts of their life. I don't know, I think it's so cool. I've had literally since I've been in college to like moving to a new state, to getting married, to like having this like friend life online, which was so fun, and then having my child, going through cancer, and now like potentially moving again and like getting a house. Like it's just crazy. Like my whole life is online. A little self-reflecting moment right there, but it's just crazy how quick everything goes. Everything just goes by so fast. I can't believe I'm gonna be 32. Ugh, I just can't. Okay. I'm using Benetint on my lips first before I go in with my lip liner. I need a little mirror. I've been doing this lately because I like how it looks. I used to be so into the nudes, like nude everything. I mean, as I literally, all my products are called nude, but like, I mean, even my lips. I like a little pink. I like a little pink on my lips, pink on my cheeks. So Benetint. Just like that. I rub it in. First up is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk in 2 medium. I'm gonna line my lips with this. Okay, that's just with Benetint and the Pillow Talk. Then I go in with MAC Strip Down. This one is a holy grail of mine as well. I think I've bought like 5 total of these pencils. That is it. That is my makeup routine. That's what I've been doing lately. I decided to do this video because I had been getting a few requests for it, and I thought it would be a good just like sit down chit chat. Hope you guys got some, you know, ideas for makeup if that's what you're into, or you know, you just got to hang out, which is also fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I have some vlogs coming out soon. I have my Portugal vlog, which I'm really excited. It's our first travel video kind of like back. So that has been really fun to kind of edit and get back into. So that's coming next. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!